Hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and we are live on a Sunday afternoon, which means that it's time for us to talk about coping with stress. And for some of you, I know the stress at the moment is the fact that you've got more heat than you want to be dealing with. And so that's going to be part of our subject for today. But before we get there, just to let you know that we at Dear Mama Sal, it's not just me, it's a group of us who get together. However, our admin, Jody, who normally joins us every single week, um, has got a problem. Just as we were about to go live, she suddenly sent me a text and said they got a major tornado warning. She's in Manchester, New Hampshire. So I'm thinking that that also means that my backup uh, admin who lives in Maine probably also is under the same sort of advisory. So just understand that if you if you need admin type stuff done, I'm the only person, and if I need to write down a note, I need to do that because I'm going to be on my own for this. So, a very, very warm welcome to you all. And I hope you've had a wonderful week. I wanted to start by apologizing for the fact that I've had to cancel a couple of broadcasts again recently. It has to do with my health and my strength. And I know that those of you who are regular viewers would not want me to go against that. I have to listen to my body and go, okay, yes, it can do it, or no, it can't. And I've had a couple of weeks where I've been really low on energy. But good news coming up. So, thoughts and prayers for everybody who's in the path of those tornado warnings at the moment in places that don't normally get them, particularly. I think those places that are used to them, they've had more than their fair share already, and they're just sharing them. I mean, that's the only way I can think about it. Um, I don't know of any birthdays this week. So, if you're a regular viewer, and I am not talking about your birthday, it's because you're not on our database. So let me know. I know we had Alice's birthday, otherwise known as Ace, last week. So that was on the 17th. So just a very, very happy birthday to you all. And if you've got any sort of major anniversaries or something coming up, just let me know as well. So the question that I had is, do you think it's hot? If you think it's hot where you live, I thought I'd bring some balance into your life. And the reason I say that is because, yes, it is hot for a lot of us. But did you know that in Iraq at the moment, it is 124 degrees or 51, that's Fahrenheit, or 51 centigrade. The problem is that I have both sorts of viewers who come from both official languages. In Iran at the moment, it is also just under 51 degrees, and so that Celsius, so that's 123 Fahrenheit. In Saudi Arabia at the moment, it's a very cool 49 degrees Celsius or 121 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think, when you look at that and you can imagine what it's like in India at the moment, they're not in the top 10, I must admit. The hottest, definitely Saudi, Iran, Iraq, those are the hottest ones at the moment. So imagine living in that heat. For those of you who know, I've been doing some fan experiments. Can I use fans to keep me cooler in the sort of early summer rather than turn on my air conditioner? And it's been working really well. Just the movement of air just makes such a difference. Now, obviously, when we get into what I call the dog days of summer, that may be a whole different story, and I will turn the air conditioner on. But so far, I have been dramatically uh, decreasing the amount of electricity I've been using because of that. So I thought I'd let you know that this extreme heat that's going on and will be going on for the next couple of months is dangerous. And I know my viewers are smart about that, but not just for humans, but also for your pets. So please remember, whatever you do for yourself, do double for your pets because they can't ask you for help. And it's going to be really, really important for you. I thought it was interesting to note that approximately 1,200 people died in the US last year from heat stroke. 1,200 died from heat stroke. Now, some of you may have heard that in Mecca, that the annual Hajj is going on, and they've had over 500 deaths, somewhere between 500 and 1,000. I've heard varying reports, deaths there because of the extreme heat. And some have been because tourist organizers had people that they uh, took to the Hajj, but then didn't have suitable transport to get them out of there, and they literally died from being under that heat for too long. Isn't that scary? Very, very scary stuff. And by the way, the other thing is this: if you are a renter, you are at greater risk of having heat problems than if you own your own house. And what I want you to think about is, what can you do, right? If you haven't got air conditioner, what can you do? And that's why I've been doing a lot of experiments. Now, I know it sounds strange, but it's a cool day today outside. It feels much cooler, and yet the temperature in my kitchen is already close to 90. Think about that. Um, and so if it gets much above that, I won't be doing any broadcast. So that is, but funny enough, I feel quite cool because I've got so much air. I've got drawers with screens on them open, and I've got, for the first time this year, I've got double fans pulling air out of the kitchen and dining room area. My dining room is over there, pulling the air that way, and that forces the cooler air to come from this part of the house to keep it cooler. And even so, actually, I lied. It was over 90 in the greenhouse window, and it's actually a very pleasant 77 degrees here inside. What can I do this here? 77 is what in both official languages? 25. Okay. So a bit of recap just before I go on. Some of you saw me do this a couple of weeks ago, in fact, a month ago, where I took some citrus fruit, oranges, and I just put the orange peel in to a jar and covered it with vinegar, just regular vinegar. This is actually the second batch that I've done. But what I wanted to show you is what I do. So this has been sitting for over 2 weeks now, and that's the magic number, apparently. Okay, see if I can do this. All right, so what I'm doing is just straining the straight liquid. Oh, I did a mixture of orange and lime for this. And this will work with basically any citrus fruit. Very cost-effective way. Hold on one second. Okay, so this is the strong stuff right here. Now, by the way, if you don't like the smell of vinegar, I've just put a little bit of gingerbread in the essence. It smells really good, right? And now all I do, did I put that away already? So then all I do is to, I didn't put it away. Very simply I put about half a cup in there, and then fill it up with water. And here's another thing I recommend. I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice to it because I love the smell of lemon. There we go. Where did that go, people? Did you see it? There it is. Okay, so now I have got a citrus cleaner at basically very, very little cost. And why do you want a citrus cleaner? Anything that's got grease on it, yeah, your kitchen cabinets, your countertops, anything like that, that, you know, even I use mine if I've got a pot that I'm cleaning, it's a bit greasy, I just spritz a bit of that in and then wipe it out. Works really well, and amazing the amount of money you will save if you do that. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you, for those of you, this, by the way, is my new rose, and it is called Tropicana. Isn't it beautiful? I had to pick these just before they go. I don't want them to die out there. I wanted to enjoy them for a bit. For those of you who watched the experiments of my cabbage, I've got an update for you. I wanted to show you that. Let me just see if I can find it for you. Wait 1 minute. What am I looking for? Photos. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I literally put a cabbage that came into my house. When it came into my house, it just had a flat bottom to it like that, all right? And what I did is I just put it like this over something with some water in it. And then the roots started, took about 2 weeks, but the roots started to come down. And if you look at the roots now, that is a big vase, you know, probably this big. But what I wanted to show you is, oh, rats. Okay. Yes, there you go. It suddenly started sprouting new leaves like this. Wonderful for stir fries and things, all right? So, and when did I buy that? In May, I think, or April even. So it's been going on all that time. And now I'm going to see if I can do the same with a cauliflower. It's the next experiment. And while we're talking photographs of things from the garden, I thought I'd also show you. Some of you know that I've been growing my own lettuce this year. Look at this. Doesn't it look wonderful? So that's the arugula type. And then I've also got, yeah, red lettuce growing. Very exciting. What else did I have to show you from the garden? Oh, indoor garden. Did all of you that saw me with I bought the big pepper plant that's, you know, sort of like this high. And the question was, could I keep it inside? Would the peppers still go from green to another color? And I just wanted to show you they're starting to turn in color. It's so exciting. I couldn't believe that last night. I was looking at them and I'm going, look at that. So exciting. It is said about heat, you know, I saw these great quotes and I thought I'd share them with you, but one of them was, hang on a second, let me just get it up here, which is, you know, you got to have a warped sense of humor. But so, is it too early to start whining about the heat yet? You know, and the other quote I saw was, I really miss complaining about the cold. So we're in that time of year, you know, it's summer now. So we're in that time of year where we get to complain about the heat for the next couple of months, and then we'll start complaining about the cold again. We're never happy, are we? So going back to this business about renters and pets and heat, I really ask you to be aware of who lives around you. All right. Have you got any older people like myself, you know, living next to you that may not have the ability to keep their place cool enough? And if you've got a place that you can keep cool, you know, can you help them cool their place down, you know, by your clever ideas? And if so, why don't you do that? And in terms of the community, you know, can you start a community initiative to keep people cool? And, maybe that you have, if you live in an apartment building, maybe you get, one room that has decent air conditioning, like a communal room that people can go to and go and cool down if they need to. So that's just a thought. What can you do for your community? Very, very important. Um, uh, those of you who might not have heard, I'm not sure if I discussed this, but a couple of weeks ago I started intermittent fasting again. For some reason, I packed on the weight, couldn't get rid of it, and I said, okay, I know what to do now. I have to go back to intermittent fasting. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, it basically means that you don't eat for so many hours a day, and then you eat what you basically want to for the next set. So I'm doing what they call a 15-9, 15 hours that I'm not eating, and then 9 hours that I can. And, for 2 weeks I've been doing it, and basically my weight didn't shift at all. And that was getting a bit scary for me, except today I got on the scale, and from nowhere I suddenly dropped 6 pounds. So is it worth doing? Yes. My friend Yvonne's also doing it at the moment. She's also losing weight. And it's just like, if you want to do it, to my mind, it's the easiest way to lose weight because you don't have to really count calories. It's good if you do. Obviously, I try to make sure I keep mine in balance, all right? But I'm allowing myself 1,600 calories a day. That's not starvation. That's really good eating. But the thing is this, can I keep the right level of fats and carbs and, those sort of things? That's what I'm trying to do at the same time. And I must admit that my eating habits must have completely changed because I am amazed how close I am to eating a perfectly balanced diet. That really surprised me. So, and thanks to Jody for teaching me how to do that. And I really am very, very grateful for that. So look at that. Got on the scale today and 6 pounds. I just went, I got off and got on it again just because I didn't believe it. So there we go. The next thing, I saw in the news this week that they are now in the States, some states are actually now saying that they're about to legislate that children cannot take their cell phones into a classroom. How many of you think that's a good idea? And if you do, leave me comments below. I am amazed it's taken them so long to actually legislate that. Because I think any child who is spending their time with their nose on their cell phone is not concentrating on the lesson. And so I, for one, want to tell you that I totally support that. Now, it's not that they can't take it to school, all right? Just to my mind, just not into the classroom. So in other words, you keep it in your locker and you keep your locker locked up. And that means in the breaks you can use it. Or you can use it so you've got that security going home or whatever, but you don't get to use it in a classroom. And I tell a story about one time when I went to go and have dinner with some friends of mine. And they weren't friends at the time, but the first time I went to have dinner with them, and they blew me away because regardless of whether you were adult or child, as we all moved to the dining room to eat, a basket came up, with a handle on it, and it started to get sent around the table. And I said, and were we having a collection? And they said, nope, cell phones. I said, really? And the thing is, if you want to eat, then you have to get rid of your cell phone for the time that you're eating. And that gets kept, it gets put in the kitchen or wherever. And then you don't get to pick your cell phone back up again until after the meal is finished. And I think that is I said to them, that they said, we hope you don't mind, Sal. I said, mind? I think that's brilliant. Unless, of course, you suddenly need some information halfway through the meal. What happens then? To me, it's like, how many times do you having a discussion during a meal these days and you go, wait a minute, let me check on that one. So anyway, I think it's a really good idea. The other thing was I was the victim of a scam this week. And I thought I'd talk about it in case it's happening where you are. And it had to do with Best Buy, stroke Geek Squad. And, they do the servicing on a lot of computers, obviously. And I got an invoice that said they were about to charge me over $300 for a thing. And if I wanted to cancel the thing, I needed to contact this number, which I did. And then when they started to ask me certain questions, red flags started to go up in my brain. And then they asked me to download a special program called AnyDesk. So if you get to that point where they're asking you to download something called AnyDesk, big red flag. AnyDesk means that you can get into my phone from any desk. How about that one? Can you imagine how many people could have been using my phone for various, and by the way, all my accounts. So when they wanted to do that, I also noticed that when I started to download it, before I was really thinking, because I wasn't well that day, I realized I could see an Amazon logo. And I said, why has this got an Amazon logo on it? Oh, no, it must be an error. We'll check it this side. And that was my third red flag. And I just canceled the call. And I immediately uninstalled AnyDesk, even though it hadn't finished installing. I just uninstalled it immediately. So I just thought I should give you guys a heads up in case you have it happen. Anything that asks you to install another program in order to cancel something, big red flag. All right, and the only other thing really that I have to share this week is, well, probably got lots of things, but the ones that I wanted to talk about is that tomorrow the Edmonton Oilers will play the Florida Panthers for the Stanley Cup in hockey. And that is so exciting. It's not often that we have one Canadian team playing one US team. And I love it when we do that because it's like the end of the Olympics, because nearly always we end up in the end of the hockey and Olympics together. So very exciting. It's game 7, which means it's the final game. And whoever wins that will win the Stanley Cup. Now, obviously, the slight advantage goes to the Panthers because they will be playing in Florida. However, that Stanley Cup it came from Canada. So the fact that it's down in the States right now, we want it come back to Canada, please. So I think that the Edmonton Oilers will play an incredible game, and that is a game well worth watching. Even if you don't normally watch hockey, that game will be incredibly exciting to watch. So just thought I'd mention that to you. All right, everybody. So that's it for today. I hope that everybody is safe and well. Please leave me some comments below if you have any updates you want to give me, or write to me at DearMamaSal@gmail.com. And I'll catch you next week. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.